Guyana, land of many waters. An independent country of 6 races. We are one people, one nation, one destiny. Georgetown, the capital of Guyana, the Garden City, established by the British in 1812. Now the center of commerce, as it sits on the edge of the North Atlantic coastline.
I've been funny down when a man hold me down, that make a brazen so. I've been funny down when a man hold me hand, that make a brazen so. Look at Nari, left she mommy, who go marry, put one go ring, stupid go ring, stupid lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, what make a brazen so. Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, what make a brazen so. Long time,
ride with us as we visit the city. Regent Street is the busiest shopping district in the city of Georgetown. Here you'll find Guyanese from all walks of life converging to conduct business. Stabroek Market, established 1881, a prominent landmark in Georgetown, with the largest clock tower in Guyana. Over 1,000 stalls of every conceivable type could be found in this market. Fruits here are always fresh and wholesome.
We come cross the Caribbean Sea, mother, father, picnic, and we settle down in GT. Why oh, we bend down on the coastal plain, the hot sun and pouring rain, and we planting the rice and cane. Why oh, yes, we take off the boots and we put on the roots. Why oh, so the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock tea and the sake winky is we own.
Stabroek Market extends over the waters of the Demerara River and it serves as a major transportation hub for thousands of commuters who ply the Demerara crossing by river taxi daily. St. George's Cathedral, ranked as one of the tallest wooden structures in the Caribbean, an architectural masterpiece that seats 1,500 persons. The foundation stone was laid in 1889 for the commencement of work on this historic church. 5 years later, in 1894, this magnificent cathedral was consecrated. Our Atlantic coastline extends for 264 miles. 90% of our population resides along this narrow strip of our coastal belt. 160 miles of this coastline is protected by a sea defense system, both natural and man-made. We fly over our coastline in the Essequibo region from Punta Playa.
Bundari crab is real, truly Benab is real, Umanayana is
Along the brown sands of the shell beaches,
Primarila is real,
Point Kokali, the mudflats of Dartmouth, to the seawalls of Georgetown. Journey with us as we depart Georgetown for the 1.8 billion years old Pacaraima mountain range, located in the western frontier of Guyana, where we will visit a few waterfalls and villages. The peak, located in an area known as the Kurapung Mountains, an area renowned for large diamonds. There you'll find the source of the East Kurapung River. Along this river, you'll find the little-known but regal waterfall, Kumarau. With a sheer drop of 640 feet and 200 feet wide in the wet season, this spectacular waterfall's imposing appearance takes on a grandeur all on its own. Kumarau Falls was considered as most suitable for hydropower generation in the late 70s. The drainage area that produces this magnificent flow is greater than 215 square miles.
Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupanuni and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we mean to keep it, we have that right.
Let's now fly around the Kumarau in the dry season.
No tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass, not one golden apple, not one jamun, not a drop of water from the farmer room. We are a peaceful people, struggling we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign
We depart Kumarau Falls for Eeping Gorge.
we ain't backing down. No, we
It is a narrow passage through the Thomasing and the Watabaru mountain ranges for a peak at a waterfall we call Eeping Fall.
not one blue sake, not one rice grain.
Flying close to this rough and rugged terrain, very turbulent conditions are always experienced.
This land is our land now. We're gonna make it somehow.
We will now fly northwest from the Epping Gorge to the Ikeraku River, where we'll take a peek at a little known but absolutely spectacular triple drop waterfall, Sakaika. With a total of 629 feet drop and a final sheer drop of 460 feet, these falls are amazing to view.
Not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. We love the open country of the Rupanuni and the Essequibo, the time on night.
Let's now proceed south to Mount Pacarampa. This outstanding landmark, known as a tabletop tepui, sits very close to our border with neighboring Venezuela. At the base of this mountain, you will find the Amerindian village of Arao. Arao village is still home of a very special Amerindian male who fell off Mount Pacarampa and survived by a miracle in the mid-60s.
Not one jamun, not a drop of water.
We are now headed south to a unique educational center in the Pacaraima Mountains. Bounded by the Tulameng Mountains in the south and by the Camarang River in the north is Waramadong. This is the secondary school campus with the classrooms around the playfield and the dormitories in the foreground. Secondary school students are drawn from the outlying regions that include Kaikan, Parima, Jawala, Kako and Camarang, among other villages.
Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. This land is our land now. We're gonna make.
Let's say hello to the primary school children at Waramadong.
Welcome to Guyana. Our fathers came here and they lived and died here, and we are moving from here. Make no mistake. No, we ain't giving up no mountain. No, we ain't giving up no tree. We ain't giving up no river that belongs to me.
Guyana is located on the right bank of Camarang
Not
River.
one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass.
We now depart Waramadong to the east for the Camarang Basin, the hub of all operations in the Upper Mazaruni, which is primarily mining.
And the Essequibo, the time on night, though we criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we mean to keep it, we have that right. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus.
Camarang has the longest hard surface runway in the Mazaruni region.
Not one
Today we will visit with Robert, the pet macaw of Camarang.
Yeah, Guyana sing, yeah, Guyana sing, yeah, Guyana sing. One day I've been down with Ghana, and the spicy Tyra on the dam. And me ask Tyra what she a do there. Tyra hides up, she goes and wine like a box does go. Oh, Tyra, oh man, babe. 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 Oh, Tyra, oh man, babe.
Leaving Camarang, we head south to Mount Roraima and the Double Drop Falls. As you will appreciate, weather is always a huge factor in the mountains.
We come cross the Caribbean Sea, mother, father, picnic, and we settle down in GT. We bend down on the coast of
Here is a view of Mount Roraima from the cockpit of a Bell 412 helicopter flying at 5,000 feet. This is a rare glimpse. The summit of this mountain is covered with clouds more than 90% of the time. Here is an example. Note that huge waterfall as it plummets off of Roraima. The walls of Roraima in the rainy season is a spectacle to observe, as waterfalls of all sizes pour down its walls. What a magnificent rock face! As we approach the Double Drop Falls, close to the base of Mount Roraima, it gets very turbulent. Look at the changes of airspeed as the aircraft descends. 40 knots, 30, 40, 30, 20. We are going into that little crack ahead. Very tight fit. As you can see how close the trees are to the helicopter as we descend to face the dazzling Double Drop Falls.
And the 6 o'clock bee and the Sakiwin keys we own. And the lava that run from Govaya guns we own. And them all of a post on the quarantine post we own. Wondering crowd.
There is nowhere here to land. We must hover and deliver supplies for the explorers of this great landmark.
The crop would not grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Sakiwin key is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them Wallaba posts and the Quarantine post is we own. Wondery crab is we own. Truly Benab is we own. Umanaya is we own.
We will now depart Double Drop Falls and Mount Roraima, towards the east with Mount Moringma in the background. The white streak of Wildline Falls stands out in this green carpet jungle as we continue our tour of the Pacaraimas.
And we celebrate Diwali, and when time for Mashramani, this party, 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 ayo. Yes, we know how to fet till the underwear wet, ayo. So the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Sakiwin key is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them all of a post and the Quarantine post is we own.
This is Kambaru Falls, located 8 miles south of Mbaimadai in the Kamakuza mountain range in our Pacaraimas.
Prime for is we own. Arapaima
a miracle of nature. Standing 6,700 feet in the Pacaraima mountain range is Mount Ayangana. On its southeastern side at 4,800 feet is the source of the Potaro River. Our exclusive tour will follow the Potaro River as it winds its way through the tropical rainforest of the Kaichor National Park.
Morby and ice, black eyed peas and rice is we own. Coconut, metachi and wiri is we own.
To the most spectacular waterfall on earth. Relax and experience our wild ride as we take you on a flying tour of Kaichor Falls.
Frankie Minis and the boom boom cheese is we own. And the lawyer in tongue, namely Funky Fong is we own. And the fellas in the tree seeing cricket for free is we own. The brother in the night preaching John the night is we own.
Kaichor, nature's gift to planet Earth.
Is we own. And the girl could find, but Lord, she behind is we own. So the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Saki Winky is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them
This is the highest single drop waterfall in the world, a sheer drop of 741 feet. Now witness a display of nature's power as we fly around the fall.
In the land of Kaichor, gold and diamond ring. Hear the guitar playing, hear the people sing. Jade and Gage, and she think nobody like she. Jade and Gage, and she think nobody like she. Run a polka-dam something, rock away, run a polka-dam. Run a polka-dam something, rock away, run a polka-dam. Jade and Gage, and them village boy run wild. Jade and Gage, and them village boy run wild. Run a polka-dam something, rock away, run a polka-dam. Run a polka-dam something, rock away, run a polka-dam.
It gets quite exciting and interesting for the pilot as he descends this close to such a large waterfall.
Settled down in GT, why oh. We been down on the coast of Plain. The hot
Mike Charles and his team will now take you where some dreams become reality.
Yes, we take off the boots and we put on the roots by oh. So the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Saki Winky is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them Wallaba posts on the Corazine coast is we own. Wondery crab is we own.
With determination and skill, we are now hovering at 20 feet above the base of this natural wonder, in view of nature's explosive power. We are looking up at more than 700 feet of waterfall.
Whether Grover, whether Pleasance, we know Pagua and Confidence, and we know how to wine and prance. Why, oh,
Let's now tour the crown of the waterfall.
celebrate Diwali, and when time for Mashramani, this party, party, party. Why, oh, yes, we know how to pet till the underwear wet. Why, oh.
This is one of the carnivorous plants found on the jungle floor of the Kaichor National Park. The only place on Earth where the Calestethus bibi, also known as the golden frog, could be found is in the Kaichor National Park. They feed on insects, which give them the ability to produce and secrete potent toxins which make them extremely poisonous. These frogs spend their entire lives in the giant tank bromeliad plant. The ugly frog lives here too. As we depart the Kaichor National Park, we invite the world to visit and experience one of the greatest natural wonders on Earth, the majestic Kaichor Falls, located in the pristine tropical rainforest of the Pacaraima mountain range in Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggling we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces, from foreign places, talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river.
The flight southwest over the highlands of the Pacarimas to Oranduke is breathtaking. The landscape alternates between forested and arid mountains. We fly over the rolling hills of Santa Maria, looking now at Oranduke and the Ireng River. The Ireng River constitutes our border with Brazil. This is Guyana, the land of many waters, a plenitude of flora and fauna, undulating rapids and waterways, cascading waterfalls and serene beauty. The Oranduke Falls is where the Ireng River thunders over steps of solid jasper, a place of relaxation, thundering waterfalls and pure vegetation. The fall's name was derived from the Amerindian Patamona word oran, which is the name of the aquatic plant found at the falls. In contrast to Kaichor, Oranduke is ideally suited for swimming, with natural jacuzzis as the falls thunder down the steps of jasper. These falls are of spectacular beauty and offer a romance of solitude with nature.
That belong to me, not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass, not one golden apple, not one jamun, not a drop of water from the farmer room, not one sherriga, not one mommy, not one guinea, not one spice.
As we depart Oranduke on the Guyana-Brazil border, we travel southeast over a section of the 66,000 square miles of our tropical rainforest towards the Corentyne River, which is our eastern border with Suriname. Andira village sits on the top of the Amazon rainforest, 3 degrees above the equator. We'll now proceed up the New River Rapids to the YY village of Andira. Here, we will meet some of our YY friends.
One day I've been down upon the dam. And me ask Sitara, what she a do there? Sitara hides up, she go and wine like a box done good. Oh, Sitara, oh man, babe. 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 Oh, Sitara, oh man, babe.
Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, what make your brazen so?
Adieu, kura meshake. Artigachi.
What make your brazen so? I've been panning down when a man hold me down, that make a brazen so. I've been panning down when a man hold me hand, that make a brazen so.
Here are the village pets. A rainbow boa,
Who go marry? Put one go ring. Stupid go ring. Stupid lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, what
a
make
collared peccary,
Lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, lily gal, what make your brazen so?
Long, long time, Jenny girl, I we not go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back.
a red hump agouti,
All them boys say, Jenny girl, I we not go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back down. Long, long time, Jenny girl, I we not go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back down, Jenny girl, come let me go back down.
a sloth,
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the girl a holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder.
a laba, and a warracabra bird. Here are a few flowers of our rainforest.
One bunch green plantain, one string for quarry, one chill black pepper. This all the money that I work for. Morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want you, but I've been morning.
This is Guyana, the land of many waters, an undisturbed wilderness of exotic flora and fauna, undulating rapids and waterways, cascading waterfalls, and serene beauty.
Wash ya hala, 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 wash ya hala. Here are the best, here are the best, here are the best, hala. Here are the best, here are the best, here are the best, hala.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, hot, hot fire.
Bamboo fire make so, he make so.
Bamboo fire, hot, hot fire.
Bamboo fire make so, he make so.
6 o'clock and the thing not ready.
Bamboo fire make so, he make so.
Man come home and the food not ready.
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, he make so.
Bamboo fire, hot, hot fire.
Bamboo fire make so, he make so. One day I've been down Guyana, and me spice is fire on the down.
I am an Amerindian woman, and like the Wai women of Andira, I gather from the farms too. This is the strength of the Wai woman
Hear Guyana sing, hear Guyana sing, hear Guyana sing.
Timber, timber, timber heavy load. Timber, timber, timber heavy load. Timber drop on me foot at the Maya. Timber drop on me foot. Timber drop on me back at the Maya. Timber drop on me back. Timber, timber, timber heavy load. Timber, timber, timber heavy load. Timber, timber, timber heavy load.
Got one rock stone in my belly.
Take 'em out, let me take 'em out, let me see.
Got one iron in my belly.
Take 'em out, let me take 'em out, let
And
me
me
see.
got one green heart in my belly.
Take 'em out, let me take 'em out, let me see.
Got one cool part in my belly.
Take 'em out, let me take 'em out, let me see.
Bam, bam, bam.
One gone,
Bam, bam, bam.
two gone.
Bam, 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 bam.
They stand there.
Bam, bam, bam.
One gone,
Bam, bam, bam.
two gone.
Bam, 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 bam.
They stand there. Ah, Nora, darling, don't you wake me for the morning.
Cassava is the staple diet of most Amerindians.
Me go give you polished furniture, me go give you pressure cooker. Ah, Nora, darling, don't you wake me for the morning. Ah, Nora, darling, don't you wake me.
This is how the Waiwais make a grater. Special fragments of rocks are collected from the riverbanks. The rocks are then hammered into a prepared piece of wood and colored with natural sap.
We come cross the Caribbean Sea, mother, father, picnic, and we settle down in GT. Why oh, we bend down on the coastal plain, the hot sun and pouring rain, and we planting the rice and cane. Why oh, yes, we take off the boots and we put on the roots. Why oh, so the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is real. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Saki Winky is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them Wallaba posts and the Coratin post is we own. Wondery crab is we own. Truly Benab is we own. Umanaya is we own. Riperilla is we own. Arapaima is we own.
Cassava is processed into a variety of foods by the Amerindians that include farine,
Whether Grover, whether Pleasance, we know Pagua and Confidence, and we know how to wine and France. Why oh, and we celebrate Diwali, and when time for Mashramani, this party, party, party. Why oh, yes we know how
Cassava
to
bread.
the underwear wet. Why oh, so the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the 6 o'clock bee and the Saki Winky is we own. And the lava that run from Govaya gun is we own. And them Wallaba posts and the Coratin posts is we own. Bundari crab
Haiwari.
is we own. Truly Benab is we own. Umanaya
Tapioca.
is we own.
and casserole.
Riperilla is we own. Arapaima is we own. Umanayana is
We will now proceed with the YYs on a hunting and fishing adventure up the New River. They sometimes have to walk their boats up the rapids to get to the prized hunting and fishing grounds. Enjoy this captivating and sometimes breathtaking experience as our adventure continues. Butterflies decorate the sandbanks. A lizard perches. This brown tarantula is poised. Can you find the toad? This is where a wasp lives on the jungle floor. A powis gets anxious. A Ferdinand floats around as the rainforest comes alive with the sounds of birds at breakfast. A puffer snake shows off his skills at swimming and climbing. This is a spectacle caiman, focused and ready.
Very powerful.
A black caiman lurks as the Haimara and Lukanani are assembled. The waterbed is low. An emerald boa gets a bit too close. A Sakiwinki gets nervous. You take careful aim and let your arrow fly. A beautiful fish is now available for dinner. Oh, an iguana just joined the party. The Waiwais are extremely accurate with their tools of trade. How far can this fish go with this amount of arrows?
Fish, boy. They will fish now with lines. The Haimaras are abundant.
Okay, catch. You catch it?
Yeah.
Two, boy. You see that big one? It said you some?
Yeah.
Clicked it already. Shoot. Shoot, man. Come on. Don't chop my light. Don't chop my light.
They will now fish with vegetation from the rapids.
Pay careful attention to the tip of the rod. Whoop! There we go. There we go. This is how easy it is.
Bringing the catch into the boat is sometimes interesting.
One day I get down with Guyana, and the spies see Tyra on the down. And the ass see Tyra what she a do there. See Tyra heights up, she goes and wine like a box done go. Don't see Tyra home and bed. Oh, see Tyra.
The YYs will allow Mike Charles to catch a tiger fish.
Oh, see Tyra home and bed. Oh, see Tyra home and bed. Oh, see Tyra home and bed. Oh, see Tyra home and bed.
See him now struggle with his gloves.
Lily girl, what make you praising so? I've been panning down, man, a man hold me down, that make a praising so. I've been panning down, man, a man.
It's a huge catfish. Look at Sultanus handle this beast with such ease and skill. It's very heavy.
Stupid lily girl, what make you praising so? Lily girl.
Listen as the dorsal fin contacts the bottom of the dugout canoe.
Long, long time, Jenny girl, I we not go back down, Jenny girl. come let me go back down. Chinny girl, come let me go back
We had a lot of problems.
All them boys I see.
The Waiwais would catch these huge catfish and keep them alive by tying them in the rivers, close to the banks, until they are ready to be consumed. What ingenious adaptation to their environment.
Sanko licky love up on the diamond, the girl a holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the diamond, the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Rip rap police a come and the girl a holla murder. Morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning. I don't want you conniving, morning.
This is a piranha.
Been a corruption, you not been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you a hustle for tell me morning, morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning. I don't want you conniving, morning. One bunch green planting, one string.
It snaps.
One chill black pepper. This all the money that I work for. Morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning, morning neighbor, morning. I don't want you conniving, morning.
4 day morning cockapoo, here at the best of Allah. I still wonder how we go. Here at the best of Allah. Here at the best, here at the best, here at the
Dundas lost a few toes a few months ago. Tina is getting hungry. There is a tail out of that hole. He handles it very carefully. It's an iguana. Lunch will be soon.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, hot, hot fire.
Meat is usually preserved by smoking and roasting.
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
6 o'clock and evening now ready.
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Man come home and the food now ready.
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, what kind of fire?
Bamboo fire make so, make so.
Bamboo fire, hot, hot fire.
The giant otters visit as a redfoot turtle casually makes its way across the river.
And me spicy Tyra bunny down. And me ask Sitara.
The anaconda relaxes in the sun.
I stop she coat and wine like a Buxton good. Go Sitara, oh man, go Sitara, oh
They sometimes swim.
Sitara, oh man, go Sitara, oh man, go Sitara, oh man, go Sitara, oh man, go Sitara, oh man.
Sometimes visit the land too. A tingare lurks. A monkey passes overhead. The red-headed woodpecker is unconcerned. The screaming peahaw screams. A colorful lizard listens. An anteater takes a nap on his restaurant, an ant nest. The screaming peahaw is busy as we travel back to Andira village. These rapids are extremely dangerous. The YYs are very skillful boatmen. Let's take you on a ride down the Andira Rapids. Hold on the sides of the boat and let the steersman do his job. We are going through that channel ahead. See how the bowman braces the bow into the opening, allowing the water current to take its course. One mistake and you're overboard, because the boat will be smashed against the rocks on either side. See how calm the water is below the rapids? This is to allow you to catch your breath after such a thrilling ride. As we leave Andira, we fly north along the Quarantine River to Oriala.
Start to sing very loud if you hear them. Hit the ball, donkey, hit the ball. Cover, drive him and make him ball. Book the man like Brian Lara.
The jungle canopy is beautiful. This very large tree of only pink flowers that sticks out of the canopy is just amazing.
Every man Jack was hiding. Crapo lie down like if he dead. Giraffe and kangaroo limping. But Mr. Parrot, the umpire, he said, all you hold some straight.
Oriala is located approximately 60 miles up the Quarantine River from Skeldon.
The donkey turned round and watched Parrot. He said, Parrot.
We approach for a landing next to the Oriala Primary School. A giant anteater crosses under our flight path. Here we are with the school children of Oriala.
Welcome to Oriala.
Let's take a walk through the village. The native people lead very simple lives. The houses in this area are made of tree bark and thatched roof.
Living in sunshine, living in rain. I could be Guyanese or Bajan, Trinidadian or Vincentian. I sing in Marley, I sing in Kitch, and I win in medal in Olympics. And my name is Katanga, and my name is Balgobin, and my name is D'Souza.
Here are a few visitors to the thatched roof. A green tree snake.
And a fetching heavy banana load. A driving steamer, a flying plane.
Bats.
Planting cocoa and planting
and a white tree frog.
A walking dentist, a clearing land. A playing cello
Oriala is the only place on earth where you can have your hair done and your teeth cleaned all at the same time. The school children will now sing for us their school song. We depart Oriala along the Quarantine River for Skeldon. This is Molson Creek, where the ferry service for the Guyana-Suriname crossing is located.
Making children are making bridge.
Our primary objective of this visit is to ride on the most decorative public transport vehicle in Guyana, the tapir. Ride with us as we sit sideways with some passengers.
Drinking rum. And my name is Katanga. And my name is Balgovin.
Built in Guyana in the late 70s,
And my name is
this unique vehicle has been converted hundreds of times over, except for its framework.
a dancing reggae and soca too. Caribbean man, a singing sparrow and super blue.
The interior is splendid. The dashboard is from a 1994 Toyota car. The engine originates from a 1975 Nissan motor car. No radiator cap, no air filter, smooth tires.
Guyana. We race in Barbados, Trinidad and St. Lucia.
No problem, he says. He must know. This is Skeldon. This is Guyana. The diverse culture of our people is unique, and with our strength of togetherness, will and knowledge, we continue to make significant contributions to this country and the region. Guyana's potential for investment, both local and international, is evident. Guyana is coming back. Leaving Skeldon, we fly over lush landscapes of rice cultivation in the Blackbush polder farmlands. We enjoy the scenery that stretches far and wide and take views of the mills that process the paddy to give us rice. Rice is the staple diet in this country and one of our main exports.
Buxtonian couldn't get a bet before the race begins. 125 to 1, people just laughing. But when GT begin to move, plenty jawbone drop. The Trinidadian I bug out, man in shock. Rain come down, the Bajan ball oceans. But Guyana, accustomed to hard times, and we prove that we can pay we check. Play the way Guyana comes back.
But once you're in the East Berbice region, you cannot miss the vast backlands cultivated with sugarcane, another of Guyana's main exports. We fly over the East Berbice estates of Albion and Rosehall. This is Guyana, a country blessed with numerous natural resources. a country rich in rice and sugar, and will soon serve again as the breadbasket of the Caribbean.
Get a heart attack. He said, I can't believe it. Guyana back on track. I never thought that Guyanese could make it on this course. Like they have a new jockey or a different horse. So call your friends up in the USA, in Canada and England, ring up right away. The word is out around the Caribbean. Lady way Guyana coming back. Today Guyana coming back. Tell Bridgetown Guyana coming back. All around Guyana coming back.
With a land area of over 83,000 square miles that cover vast stretches of virtually untouched rainforest, savanna lands and farmlands, we fly across country from the ancient county of Berbice in the east to the Cinderella county of Essequibo in the west.
We come across the Caribbean
Each region in Guyana has its own special feature.
and we settle
Essequibo brings to life the true meaning of land of many waters, with rivers and waterways of all descriptions, spectacular waterfalls and rapids compounded with vast lakes.
we put on the roots by who. So the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we own. And the zigzag long bee and the saki winky is
We are now approaching Bartica, the gold capital of Guyana, the gateway to the Mazaruni, Cuyuni and Kotaro mining districts. In the background you can see Cow and Calf Islands beckoning.
truly Benab is we own. Umanaya is we own. Frikorila is we own. Arapaima is we own. Umanayana is we own. Whether Grover, whether Pleasance, we know Pagua and Confidence, and we know how to wine and prance. Why oh, and we said
As we enter the Mazaruni River, the water begins to change to two distinct colors. Watch as we go along.
yes, we know how to fet till the underwear wet. Why oh, so the crabwood that grow in Essequibo is we oh.
We are now approaching the mouth of the Cuyuni River as it merges with the Mazaruni River. The Essequibo region stands out as the prime tourist destination of Guyana. Kaikoverall, which means sea overall, was established in the 17th century by the Dutch as a trading depot. This tiny island of 1.5 acres changed ownership a few times between the Dutch and the British. By 1716, Kaikoverall became overcrowded and the Dutch administration moved to Fort Island, one island in a chain of 365 islands that is found in the Essequibo River, one of the most picturesque and scenic in the country. Located approximately 10 miles from the mouth of the mighty Essequibo River is Fort Island.
Coconut metachi and wiri wiri is we own. Babolala rich and winnie kota in the hand is we own. Coconut metachi and wiri wiri.
The home of the Court of Policy, a multifunctional building that served as a church, the seat of the Dutch government, a store, and a sales office. The tombs of 3 Dutch officials are also located in this structure. Moving a little further along the northeastern bank of this island, you'll find Fort Zeelandia. Established in 1744, after Kaikoverol was abandoned. These massive historic structures stand testimony to the superior bricklaying skills of the Dutch. Concluding our tour, we leave Fort Zeelandia and return to Georgetown at night, where we will celebrate with fireworks. This is Guyana, the land of many waters, the land of unseen beauty, the land of tumbling waterfalls, amazing landscape, majestic mountains, intriguing wildlife, beautiful flora and fauna, and yes, the tapir, Skeldon's mode of transportation. The land of many waters, a plenitude of flora and fauna, undulating rapids and waterways, home to one of the world's tallest wooden buildings, the St. George's Cathedral, home to the mighty thunderous Skychore Falls, the world's highest single-drop falls, and home to our XM range of rums.
We are a peaceful people, struggling, we struggle.
A new world of excitement awaits you in Guyana. We're sure you enjoyed the ride with us.
Talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. No, we ain't giving up no mountain, and we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belong to we. Not the one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one chorus, not a blade of grass. This land is our land now, we're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we are moving from here, make no mistake. No, we ain't giving up.
This is our country, our Guyana, the land of 6 races, with our motto, one people, one nation, one destiny. This is Guyana, yours to discover.